Hello, and welcome to my Dolly guest room. I am still working on this. Today I am coming to you from the Dolly, I'm calling it the Dolly Suite, to talk about church, because when I'm in here, it feels like church. Dolly is one of my spiritual leaders, and that's the truth. I'm not joking about that. I really feel like she exemplifies what it means to be a good Christian and a good person. Not just a good Christian, a good person. And I wanted to talk today because yesterday was Dolly's birthday. Today is MLK Day and also the inauguration day. And something made me think about making this video. When I was a kid, I started going to church when I was probably like 10. My mom decided that we should go to church. And I'm assuming we were bad kids that needed help. I'm just kidding. Anyway, she decided, looking at the genealogy of our family, that we would be Lutherans. And so we started going to a Lutheran church in our little town of Albany, Georgia, back in the 70s. And I loved going to church. I had so many friends there, and I loved the lessons and stories. I loved our pastors that we had. There were two main pastors that we had that I remember during that time period. And the first one was the one who influenced me the most. There was just something about it. I really loved it. I loved the music. I loved participating in when we did church plays and stuff like that. I loved doing it. I loved going to Sunday school, and I loved just being at church. I know most kids, they don't want to go to church on Sunday. They want to stay home, but for me, I was excited to go to church. But then I grew up and I went off to college, and I started, I would say, really living my life as a gay man once I left home. And I was in college, and I met Glenn like right away. Glenn and I have been together for 35 years. It'll be 36 years in March. And I all of a sudden had all these gay friends in my life. And I started seeing the way the church, and I say church, the whole church, was treating gay people. And I didn't understand it, but it turned me off to church, and I didn't go to church for 20 years. And when my dad died in 2009, I had a hard time with it, and I started going to therapy. And when I was in therapy, my therapist we were going over things from my childhood and stuff like that. And he asked me a point in my childhood where I felt the happiest, and it was at church. And he suggested I go back to church. So I started looking around for a church, and I found the church, and the church that I'm still with. And I knew there was a gay pastor who was leading the church, so I knew I was invited there and welcome there. So I went, and that first time, everyone was so open and friendly to me. And those people that I remember are still there. And it felt like, and this is going to sound so cliche and cheesy, but it felt like I had gone home again. After 6 months of getting to know everybody, I started feeling guilty and like an imposter, like I didn't really belong. So I went to talk to my pastor, and I was going to tell him what that I had doubts, and I didn't really believe a lot of what the church was telling me. And I felt like when I went in there to talk to him, that I was going to tell him this, and he was going to tell me that maybe I should go somewhere else. And I told him, I was like, I have many doubts, I have many questions. And he said, so does everyone who's here. Nobody here is perfect. Nobody here knows the answers. I do believe in God, but not as an old white man in the sky, okay? I mean, I don't think most people really believe that. I believe in God as a connection to us all. And as far as Jesus, there's things that I question a lot about Jesus, especially, the big thing, the resurrection. Like, is it a metaphor or is it real? And that's what I told my pastor. And he said, nobody knows the answer. He told me, I believe it's real, but that's something that my quest is what I'm on. He said, someday you may find that the church is not for you anymore, and that's okay. And then I had this realization that I belong there, because I'm not the only one that's looking for answers. And I grew up in the church, and to me, it's where I belong in my search. Now, I believe everyone is on a search. I believe everyone wants the same answers, and they just are looking for the answers in the way that they know how, and I'm looking for the answers the way that I know how. And I don't have the answers yet. I probably won't till I'm not here anymore. So there was something else that I was thinking about, and it was about when I was a kid, and we did confirmation, we studied the catechism. Oh, I actually have it here. I was going to show it to you. Here's my catechism. Here's my Bible. I got this Bible when I was baptized, and it's blue jeans covered. This is like a funky, like modern English Bible that we don't use at the church I'm at now, but I really love this Bible because it's got cool illustrations in it, and it has like I said, modern English. This Bible, of course, was from the 70s. There's some of the drawings in there. When I took this Bible to church, my pastor was like, well, now your Bible matches the jeans that you wear, because back then people dressed up for church, but I didn't. And that was one of the big changes when I came back 20 years later. I was like, nobody's really dressed up. Some people are, but most people aren't. Anyway, so what I learned was Martin Luther, because I was raised a Lutheran, like every day your goal is to be reborn in a way, resurrect as a new person, as a better person. And today is Inauguration Day, and there's a lot of fear for my LGBT family. I'm fearful that I could lose my marriage to Glenn, but I have hope for the future. And I have hope because I think that there's always a possibility of people changing who they are. For the better. We're all connected, and we all can change, be better people. And that's what church needs to be. That's when I'm in church. So anyway, I'm crying, but the message that I wanted to give today was that we are connected, all of us, and there's hope for all of us. That's all I really wanted to say today. So thanks. Bye.